You have no idea what it is to cast your vote in an election when a democracy is so young. My name is Purificación Martínez, Puri Martínez. I am an associate professor in the Department of Foreign Languages and Literatures. I grew up in downtown Madrid, and my father was a construction worker and my mother was a homemaker. A very interesting thing about my parents is the fact that my mother did not know how to read or write. She never went to school. And my father went only sporadically to school. And since a very, very early age, I remember them instilling in my brother and I the importance of an education. When I came to the United States, I came to do a PhD in Spanish. And all the students and all the professors, of course, spoke Spanish. I did not speak a single word of English when I came to the United States. So you can imagine, well, you probably cannot imagine how difficult it is to open a bank account when you do not know any English. In 1936, there was a coup d'etat, and at that point, the dictatorship was the form of government from 1936 and to 1963 when I grew up. The dictator died in 1975, so I was 13 years old. I remember the fear when Franco died, the fear that everybody had, what is going to happen again? Does this mean that we are going to have another civil war because he won power because of a civil war? Fortunately, that did not happen, and in 1978, we had the first democratic elections since 1936, and my first vote when I was 19 years old, the first time that I was able to vote, was the first time since 1936 that a left party won elections. And the sense of enormous responsibility and pride that you have when you cast your vote, and that you know, because you have witnesses with your eyes, how precious and how significant a vote is. I have in this piece of paper the possibility to transform my country. If I don't like it, I have with this vote the possibility of saying, no, my country is not going in the right direction, and I want that direction to change. One of the things that I do when I teach my students as it's time for election is, have you voted? Have you registered to vote? And I always tell them, it doesn't matter to me for whom you vote, just vote. And very often, a few of them always say, no, elections do not matter to my life, has no significance to my life. And the feeling that I feel when I hear that is of sadness, and I feel also determined. I need to continue to speak about the importance of voting, and I often tell them something. Do you have safe drinking water? Do you have safe roads? Can you go to a doctor and be seen? In what type of institution are you studying? You are studying in a public university. All those things are happening because we have a government. And in order to have a government, we need to have elections. So what you say that voting is not important to you means that you are not really reflected of how you live your daily life. And at the end, if with those conversations, I made just one student that had not voted before go and vote, then that made everything worthwhile. The responsibility that it is now put on our shoulders, I don't think has ever been as momentous. We all need to vote and not fight in the streets. We need to vote.